Sanibonani. Usishi futhi lo Nqwaba Mathendra bayikhulu. Ngihamba nogoba amajanga samahle ombambo omageza ngobisi. Today I want to talk about a difficult subject. And I say difficult because it's difficult to teach. It's one of those things that come natural to some people. I remember when I was in initiation and we were being taught. And this is an art of reading candles. And some people just won't get it. So that's why I'm saying that it comes natural to some people, but to some it doesn't. So people spiritually get gifted in many forms in terms of channels they can use to communicate with the beyond. So there are people who are able to read Amatambo, which is the bones. It's not really bones, but you know what I mean. There are people who can read stones. If you throw stones on the floor and they get an understanding. There are people who can read bottle caps. You throw bottle caps on the floor and they can see a message in them. There are people who can read clouds in the sky. It's very rare, but they can. There are also people who can read candles. So I'm gonna try and be as high level as possible. If you have any questions, maybe call me. Like I said, it's difficult. It's not for everyone. So I'm not gonna speak about the clouds, the stones, and everything else, or whatever else you can read. I just want to focus on the candle. Take a note when you are praying. Firstly, look at the color of the candles. Let's say you have more than one candle. And you are praying, or we are phahla, talking to your ancestors. And then suddenly the red candle gets excited. The flame flickers. There's a story there when it comes to the need for protection, because it's the red candle that's flickering. So usually, and I'm saying usually, candles speak via their color. But sometimes you could be using one color. There you need to look at the flame or the wick inside the flame, that little string black thing. Sometimes the wick can, so when the flame is hot and the wick becomes like yellow inside because of the heat, it can change shapes. Maybe when you look at it, it looks like it's a snake. Or sometimes when you look at it, it looks like it's a shape of a lion or a shape of something that reminds you of something. You're not crazy. You are seeing it. I had a client the other day who called me and said, Mkhulu, I don't know if I'm losing my mind, but my candle, when I was praying, I opened my eyes because it was excited, and it changed into a shape of an old man. Then it changed again into a shape of an angel. So the flame speaks, the wick speaks, the color of the candle speaks. Then there's the way it drips. the wax itself that's molten, that's coming down on the side of the candle. Sometimes, I know to some people who are skeptical, they'll think this is crazy. Sometimes it will make a shape of something. Like I've seen people send, because people send me candles. They send me a candle where the candle is done, it's molten, but it did not melt all the way. And then it formed the shape of a wave. And you can see it, that this looks like an ocean wave. Or sometimes it forms the shape of a wing. And you're like, this is an angel wing. But most of the time, it will just have this drip on the side. Sometimes the drip is called a tear, like the candle is crying. That's what we say. Liakala. Which means there is something that you are stressing about or that you yearn for. Again, look at the color or look inside and understand what it is that you're crying for. People that have issues with love, issues with relationships, maybe they're yearning for a lost love. Maybe it's a guy. Maybe it's a twin soul situation. The flame will split itself and it will be two flames. But it may not necessarily be about love. It could be about two parts that you need to decide on. But the flame splits that moment you are praying. So the candle or your candles speak. Pay attention to them. Lesedi, Thokozani, Makosi, Amaku, Thobela.